So it's a Saturday night. What are you planning on doing?
You are now listening to Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Let's get into it.
Episode 91, Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. I gotta do that. So it's fucking, we got the heat wave going on here. What do they call it? The heat dome or some fucking shit. It's been hotter than fuck for the last, 5 days. Hot, humid, fucking disgusting. But I'm not complaining because I know what the fucking alternative is here. So, when I'm sitting out here freezing with the fucking arbor wear on and shit, now I'm fucking sitting out here with some shorts on and some Crocs. So I really haven't got to the middle ground yet where, it's fucking just somewhat decent now. Well, I guess I have a couple days, but anyway, this week, I was, doing fucking reminiscing again. I was, I'm having all these fucking car problems or whatever, on and off, blah, 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 whatever. And, so I was, but that doesn't have anything to do with it really, I guess. But what I've been doing is driving home with, no fucking radio on so I can listen to the vehicle. And I'm super fucking weird about that shit. So I must. It is a fucking must. So I'm anyway, I'm very crazy about it. So I'm driving, listening to the fucking shit. But really, I'm just driving, listening to nothing. Because when nothing's happening, obviously, I'm left to my own thoughts. And I was thinking about all this old shit. And then coincidentally, this dude... So check this out, right? So this dude, fucking, that I used to know, he went to high school with me, right? He, I think he was a year ahead of me, but I went to the Christian school, so it was only our whole high school class was 20 people or less, from 9th to 12th, right? And I told you before, my graduating class was 2, and one of the two wasn't even fucking full time. She only came on Fridays and shit. She was a homeschooler who fucking did the extracurriculars at our school. But anyway, when we did gym and all that shit, because we only did that shit on Friday. So Fridays was gym and art and fucking music and I don't even fucking remember what else. Probably that's about it. So that was Fridays. And all the homeschool kids would come there to do those same things. It actually kind of made sense. They would come there to do the things they couldn't do at homeschool and shit. So we'd get to mix it up with them and shit on Friday. So it was fun. That was always a fun day on Friday. But this dude, he used to go to school there, right? I had to be very careful with who I chose to fucking let into my real life. Because, I was a fucking alcoholic, drug addict, smoked fucking herb before I became a total addict of everything. And that shit was highly frowned upon. So I had this persona at school and a lot of the staff, their kids went there and I was in the same fucking classes and shit with the staff. So I had this persona. It wasn't really a persona. I shouldn't say that because, it was me. It's always me. It's just it's basically being around my grandma all the fucking time is the best way to put it. I didn't curse. I didn't talk about drugs. I didn't talk about fucking violence. I didn't talk about selling dope, shit like that. So that was, so I could pick and choose and eventually I would find out who I could talk to like a friend of mine. And it was probably over all the years of being there. You guys met one of them, Billy the Marine. Billy, he ended up being one I could, tell my whole life about and shit, and we were, became friends. And so I didn't have to bullshit him. But so there was this other dude, right? And he was like real soft spoken. He was probably, I want to say he was like a year. He's 38 right now, and I'll be 38 in September. So he might have been a year ahead of me. He might have been like the class of 03, but maybe not though, because I don't remember, because he didn't end up graduating with me, because I can't remember if I talked about this or not, but in the end, well, I'll tell you what led up to this. So the dude, I'm trying to think of what the fuck happened. He like fell in love with this girl that was at the school, right? And she didn't want anything to fucking do with him. Like zero. She didn't want nothing to do with him. And she was regular. She was just like a regular Christian girl. Like she really didn't want nothing to do with this dude. And he was like real soft spoken, but almost in like a creepy way. And he worked on a farm too, since he was like young and shit. So he was like physically strong, but he was like fucking a super creeper, right? But he was always cool with me. So we ended up spending some time together, because he was like, between him and Billy, I think he had a car first. He had like a cell phone, because he had money, because he was working at this farm. So he would work fucking 12 hours a day or some shit. He'd get out of school at 3 o'clock and go and work on the farm until fucking midnight or something, to do it every day. So he like had all this cool shit and no one to fucking hang out with. So him and I like kind of started hanging out, and I don't really remember where or when it happened, but he started drinking a little bit, and I was an active fucking alcoholic. So you know how fucking active addicts and shit are. They like to, misery loves company. So I was like, oh shit, someone I could get fucked up with. And sometimes alcohol wasn't as easy to come by as I felt like it should be. So I would always like take what I could get whenever I could, and especially if I had like a new connect or something on shit like that, because I was like fucking 16. So him and I end up doing, like, we didn't actually do a lot of drinking together, but he did a lot of drinking by himself. And he was the first motherfucker. He called me on a cell phone, and this was like a big deal because I didn't have no fucking cell phone. He left this movie theater at this mall that's not there anymore, right? And I was up in there with him one time, fucking wasted, and I was like throwing my ring. I had this fake fucking diamond ring and shit, so silver and with these cubic zirconias, and I was like throwing them at the jeweler, telling him fucking I just signed a Rockefeller Records or some shit like that. I was fucking wilding. And anyway, so he was at this mall, and they fucking like this shit. They knocked that shit down and built a fucking Walmart. But anyway, and he had just came out of the movie theater, and he called me and was like telling me, oh yeah, I just seen, whatever movie, and fucking I had some beers while I was sitting in the theater and blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, just open a beer right now, I'm about to come and maybe come hang out. And he said, Voof! And I was like, you all right? And he said, I just hit someone, I gotta fucking go. I said, oh shit. So he calls me back like 20 minutes, half hour later, and he's like, I was driving through the parking lot, just like driving across the parking lot drunk, underage, drunk, actively drinking as well. He had a beer open. He fucking T-bones a car, and I don't think he was going very fast, and panics, throws the open beer under the seat, where it just proceeds to just dump out, right? And fucking, I don't know how the fuck he finessed his way out of not going to jail, not getting nothing. I think he got like a ticket for like, I don't know, it was something fucking stupid. Like, the law dropped the ball on that one because he was all fucked up. Anyway, so he was like the first person I ever knew that like fucking got in an accident on the cell phone, talking on the phone. It was kind of funny. I can't say I've been on the phone with anyone else who had an accident, but Anyway, so I don't know why that was important to this whole thing. So he started like going downhill, like real, like I don't know. He was like all caught up with the girl at school, and he started like doing weird shit, writing her all these letters and like driving around by her house and shit. And I can't remember the order of the events, but he did some fucking dumb shit, and he like was sitting on top of the lockers out in the hallway at school, and they were like, Kyle, go out there and talk to him. And I'm like, all right. So I went out there and talked to him, and I'm like, dude, like, you know, you gotta fucking chill out, man. I know shit's going on or whatever, but you gotta fucking chill out. And he's like, yeah, I know, whatever, this and that, this girl, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, fuck it, dude. There's lots of girls out there. Don't fucking worry about it, man. So I can't fucking I really can't remember exactly the turn of events, but he like freaked these people out so bad that they like told him he couldn't go to school there no more because he was freaking this girl out so bad. And I understand it too. She was scared, they're like a regular family and shit, and they were like fucking scared of this dude. So at one point, he was parked. It was in the wintertime, I remember. He was parked out back of the school, and he was in his car. He had like a what the fuck was it? Like a Cutlass. It's like a like a 90s, early 90s Cutlass, I think, or the late 80s, something like that. And she was maroon. And the principal of the school was like, Kyle, will you go outside out the back of the school and fucking talk to him? Because he's not supposed to be here right now, and he's sitting out back with his shirt off in the parking lot in the middle of winter time. And I was like, oh shit. So I said, yeah, I'll go out there, because they knew I was definitely the coolest person at this fucking school, especially talking wise. Like, I was very diplomatic, and I made my way around all the circles very well. So I go out to talk to him. It's hard for me to not say his name. I keep because I don't want to do that, you know what I mean? But so I went out there, and there he is. He's sitting there, no fucking shirt on. I got my fucking jacket on and shit. And so I came up to his window, and I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck you doing out here? And he's like, nothing. I'm just here. And I was like, all right. I go, well, they're talking about calling the fucking cops on you, dog. I was like, you got to get the fuck out of here, before you fucking, I don't want to see you end up going to jail or nothing like that. And he's like, yeah, well, if they call the cops on me, whatever. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just sitting here. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I just want to let you know. So I went back in, and I said, I don't know. I told him. I don't know. So the principal goes back out there. She comes back in looking like she's seen a fucking ghost, right? She's all fucking bugged out looking. And she goes, when I was walking up to his car, he pulled out a big knife and started cutting himself across the chest. And he did. She wasn't like making this shit up. Motherfucker was going, the fuck was the dude in Predator? Danny. He fucking started cutting himself across the chest. So, of course, then they called the motherfucking sheriff. But then he bounced before the sheriff got there. And I was like, oh shit. Homeboy is off the fucking rails. So, I didn't see him for a while. He was like trying to talk to me here and there, and I was talking to him a little bit. But I figured he just went about his way. He went on his way. He doing his own thing. He ended up getting this apartment, and like a couple weeks later, I can't remember if it was. It might. Oh, you know what? I think it was after Christmas break or after New Year. I think it was after New Year. Everyone got back to the school, and someone broke into school. Right, the door to the principal's office was off of like this big main room that was like 3 rooms that had been opened up, and there was like a main fucking classroom where for a long time, we all were in the same room, and then we would go to this other room to do these classes and shit. Like all the different grades and shit would switch out. So like we're all of us K through 12, we're all in the same room, desks lined all the way back, right? I'm trying to paint the picture for you. And so let's just say like we were doing work, we had work to do, everyone would do work, and then the kindergarten class whatever, they would leave and go. There was like 3 rooms I think that we had access to at this time, and later on we had a dedicated room for 9 through 12, this was at this point, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so in that big main room, yeah, it was at this point because I was in. Yeah. Anyway, so they had this fucking the principal's office, which was kind of just like the main office, was behind the desk of the principal, and there was like a room behind her, and there was like a couple computers and shit in there or whatever, and it was off this main room where everyone would be at. And someone broke into the building. There was no alarm. It was the old local high school. So the local high school, they built a new high school like in the fucking 80s or 90s. And that the school, a church bought it, and then the church put the school in there. But a lot of the shit, like multiple floors and shit, it was all in like disrepair. So only like a couple hallways on the first floor was actually like you could even fucking go into the rooms. I've been all through the building, but it was all fucked up. Anyway, so they said someone broke in the door to the little office was wooden, and they said it looked like a fucking animal broke in, right? They said the door was like ripped off from the bottom up, and they stole computers, they stole a cash box, like a petty cash box or something. And what the fuck else? 2 or 3 computers, a laptop, and then just trashed the whole shit, this whole office. And I was like, oh shit. So they're in there. Now a company comes and they're putting like fucking steel doors on our classrooms and shit that lock, and they're like, what the fuck's going on? And I actually didn't even know at the time. I was like, damn, someone, whatever. So Stacks gets a hold of me. Oop, I should have said it. Well, whatever. Stacks gets a hold of me. And he says, hey, do you want a computer? I'm pretty sure. There's something about a computer. And I was like, nah. I was like, I got one. He's like, okay. That was me, And I said, oh shit. I said, what was you? And he said, I broke into the school over Christmas recess. I said, damn, that was you? He said, yeah. He goes, it was easy getting in the building. He goes, and getting to the office, he goes, but the office door was locked. So instead of just breaking the fucking window, because it was a wooden door with a window, instead of breaking the fucking window and just reaching in and unlocking it, because you could tell he wasn't a criminal, he fucking kicked the bottom of the door out till it broke, and then with his fucking bare hands ripped just kept breaking pieces off until it was big enough for him to fucking crawl in. So it was like exactly, he described to me basically what they described to me. It looked like a fucking animal ripped in the shit. So I was like, oh shit. And I wasn't going to say nothing. I was like, damn, that's fucked up. I said, but nah, I'm good on all that shit. I don't want none of that shit, right? And he's like, okay, I would just give it to you. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good. Fuck that. I'm good on that. And the people were good people, man. They didn't deserve none of that shit, It was probably all donated shit anyway, like fucking, I don't know. There's really no reason for it. So he's living in that apartment, right? And his next door neighbors were fucking migrant workers. And some of them were totally illegal, like fucking, like they were, run when the fucking Iceman pulls up out in the fucking fields and shit. He sells them a fucking computer for like $100 or something. One of these computers, right? They fucking turn it on and hook it all up. And they see that it's like this school's fucking computer. Oh shit, almost knocked the whole shit over. So they see that, and being fucking totally illegal, like risking themselves, they call the fucking sheriff because they said this shit is fucked up. So they call. So Stacks ends up getting busted, right? They booked him. They called. The sheriff went next door and fucking knocked on his door, and he's got all their shit there. So he ends up, I can't remember what it was. He got booked, right? And he got sentenced to 8 months in shot camp. Now, I don't know if you know what shot camp is, but I guess, to my understanding, I've never been. You go and it's like a military school and you got to do all this shit and it's super strict and you're running and fucking working out and working in the fucking whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it's supposed to be fucking pretty rough. And you got to like, and this is, I'm getting this from what he told me. He said, if you didn't eat everything, including the core of the apple that they gave you at lunch, you had to dig a fucking 6 foot deep hole and bury the lunch, whatever you didn't eat. So you had to eat like all the scraps or whatever, you know. I don't know. This is what he's told me, right? So he said, at the end of the first day, they said, all right, a whole room full of people. And they said, all right, so who wants to go to prison? He said, fucking him and one other dude raised their fucking hand. So off to fucking Elmira State Prison he went and did his fucking 8-month bid. So, which typically doesn't happen. Like, usually if you're doing 8 months, you do that shit in county, you know? And even then, like, you'll do a little bit of it downtown and then you'll do the rest at the fucking, at the long-term holding center. You know, it's from like, I don't even know where it starts, 1 to fucking 18 months, I think the county goes up to. So he should have been at county, but instead, because of whatever the fuck, you know, whatever agreement or, you know, the consequences of doing this fucking shot camp or whatever. So that was gangster right there. I was like, damn, this motherfucker crazy. So he does his 8 months in Elmira. He writes me a letter and shit, drew some pictures and shit. And he tells me like he watched a dude get his throat cut in the fucking weight room. They had a weight room. He said, and that was like the craziest thing that he saw in there. He said, and there wasn't, he said there was some violence, but not like, it wasn't like crazy. You had to really be asking for it. And he said he learned like how to make your clothes white and all this shit, like make your t-shirts and shit. And he didn't tell me it was terrible. It sounded like he got along just fine. I don't know. That could be total bullshit, but he wasn't really the type to lie. You know, he was just a real simple dude and fucking. So he did this 8-month fucking bid, right? And then I talked to him here and there a little bit. You know, he told me about what it was like and this and that. And I really just tried to stay the fuck away from him because, like, dude, he was like fucking, I don't know, man. He wasn't the kind of criminal that I wanted to keep around. So life goes on. I'm trying to think if one time, and he was a cool ass dude because one time Dubs and Swift were over, Dubs and Polly, and I got in a fucking fight. I was all drunk. I was wasted, actually. I was like more drunk than normal. And Stack showed up with the car, and he was like, let's go to this party. And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, I got Dubs and Swift with me, and I'm drunk, and we got drinks, and it's time to go, and he's got a bottle of Jack he just showed up with. I was like, oh, we're about to go fucking get a crunk at this party. I got my dudes from the city. We're like, you know, it was the fucking crew, and we had a ride. Well, my mom and Steve were like, no. And that didn't happen a lot. Like, I was pretty much able to do whatever the fuck I wanted, whenever I wanted. And because I was honest about a lot of shit, you know, I didn't do a lot of sneaking around and fucking all this shit. You know, I was pretty honest with them. So when I walked down the stairs and I was fucking cocked and we're all like about to leave, they're very smart and they know what the fuck is up. They know me, Dubs, Swift, and we're fighting at the mall. They know we're doing this. We're fighting here. We're fighting there. We're fucking trouble, and we always were trouble. So they knew, but they were like, "Nah, listen, man, you're not fucking going there." And I was mad. I was like, "This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit." So I get in a fight with my fucking the people who care about me. I'm on at this point now. I'm out on bail. I'm not even on probation yet. Like, I'm still out on bail. And fucking, I gotta watch out. I can't be doing no fucking stupid shit. Nah, man, fuck that. Let's see how much stupid shit we can do, man. Right? Ain't that what we're doing here? So I end up getting in a fight with them. It was a big fucking Dubs and Swift are like, they're when you're getting yelled at by your fucking parents. And your boys are there, and they're just like looking if find shit to look at on the walls and shit. So anyway, they were like, "All right, well, we're about to blow. Peace." So Stacks was like, "I'll bring y'all home." Dude, he'd been to the Grease Mall one time or twice. He drove there. He had never been to the hood. And both of them motherfuckers lived on the east side. Dubs lived on fucking off of Parcells. And fucking Swift lived on fucking Rosewood. Like, it was over in the fucking trenches. Or no, it was Upper Falls. Either way, it was over there. And this is no GPS, no nothing. He drives them both home. And I still, one of these days, the next time Dubs comes out here, I'm about to ask him what that fucking ride was like. But he goes and brings them both home. But anyway, so all these years pass. I see him one time at a gas station, like quick. I'm in a hurry. I'm like, "Oh shit, how you doing, man? Good to see you." He's like, "Yeah, I got 4 or 5 kids or something like that." And I was like, "Oh shit." Then he says, "Well, they're not mine. They're my wife's. I got married. She had 4 kids or 5 kids or some shit." And I was like, "Oh." And this is okay. Well, good to see you, man. All right, peace. Years go by. I moved where I'm at now. I go to fucking Home Depot. This motherfucker, like, with laser precision, fucking sees me. Bink! He's working there. Bink! I said, "Oh, shit, there he is." I ain't seen this motherfucker in mad long. So he fucking starts coming to me. He's like, "Hey, I thought that was you." And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "What brings you out here?" And I was like, "Oh, shit." I said, "Just passing through, fucking, this is on the way, all the closest was Lowe's, and that was in Brockport, and blah, blah, blah. I needed a Home Depot. They only had it here." And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, what are you looking for?" And I'm like, "Fuck, man, I don't know. I'm fucking whatever." And he's like, so he's like walking me to show me where this shit is at. I can't even remember what it was, if a drill bit or something like that. I don't even fucking remember. Erica's like, "What the fuck," right? So he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm doing this, and I'm doing Uber, but I don't have a license, so I'm doing Uber illegally under someone else's name." And I'm thinking, well, that ain't good. Whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I don't have a license, so I'm doing it." I'm like, "All right, well, fucking see you later." So a few weeks later, I see him one more time at Home Depot, but he doesn't like laser focused fucking come to fucking scoop me up. He's just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then I'm trying to think if it was, I don't know, it was a couple weeks later, a month later, we see him hauling ass down fucking Main Street here on a bicycle, right? And I go, "Oh shit, there's Stacks." I go, "Well, obviously he lives around here." Like, we got back to the house, and she's on like this local crime Facebook thing where someone like listens to the fucking police scanner and then just posts like all this shit that's going on, which is kind of cool. And fucking there he is, fucking 5 minutes after we seen him. The police try to stop him on a bicycle. He stops the bike and then takes off on foot running. And then they fucking tackle him and catch him. I don't even know why. Not even sure. And I was like, oh shit, there he goes again, right? The fucking boy, he's always been crazy, right? So then, just the other day, this whole half an hour story, fucking Erica sends me a picture. She goes, "Is this your boy?" And I said, "Oh shit, this motherfucker got busted by the undercovers selling straight crack, fucking on 3 different occasions to a fucking undercover police officer." Dude, I've heard it all. Homeboy, fucking, I know, like, I guess anybody could sell drugs, but not a lot of people sell crack, like, fucking, it takes a certain individual to sell some crack, and I really didn't think that he had it in him to be out there selling some crack. So I go, oh shit, well, you see how that turns out for you, boy. But I was like, fuck, man. But anyway, this whole long ass fucking story was just about me. And so that stupid thing made me start reminiscing about like all these fucking times with all these people that I used to hang out with and shit, and like all this crazy shit. Like there was this dude that also went to the school. He was a real big dude. He was probably 6 foot, but he was probably like 350 pounds. And this is the first time that I knew of that I ran into somebody who was pathological liar. Or I know there's different kinds, like where you can't help yourself, but then there's other ones where you believe your own lie. I don't know. I don't really actually know which one it was, because it could have been both. He couldn't help himself and he believed this shit. But he fucking lied about everything. All this shit. Like, his grandma went to the church that we went to and shit. And he fucking, dude, he like lied about just everything, right? And he pulls out this, a newspaper clipping that he had fucking laminated, right? It's real little too. And it was, dude, it looked like a government document. It was all blacked out. And it said, so-and-so, his name, is black, rushed for black, 64 yards, black, 8 touchdowns. So whatever the fuck, I don't even know what it. And I was like, and he's like, look, man, yeah, fucking had a killer game. And obviously this was like stats for the whole fucking game. And he just blacked it out so it read like it was him that got like the whole team's stats. He was dead ass serious with a straight ass face. And I was like, oh shit, look at you. And then, he couldn't play football anymore because he broke his shoulder 19 places. And then he was rebuilding this Maverick. And then every time, like, you would always hear about it. You'd hear about the Maverick. Oh, I put in this. Oh, I just did this. Oh, I just had the engine crated in right from fucking wherever. Blah, 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 and all this shit. Got the fucking supercharged turbo, blah, 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 and this 70 fucking Maverick or whatever the fuck it was. And then, about the Friday, Maverick's going on the road Friday. Monday comes. Oh, yeah, I put it on the road Friday. I was going 130 miles an hour down Route 63. Lost control, rolled it 15 times. Fucking totaled the whole thing, man. Right on my own fucking street. It was like shit like that. And then like he picked me up one time in his aunt's brand new Ford Explorer. It was like when cars started becoming like that burnt orange. When like all new cars, like fucking everything had like the burnt orange. And it was that. So you didn't really see a lot of them shit. So I was like, oh, this is dope. He's like, yeah, I just bought this. He also worked too. He also was another motherfucker. He worked on a farm and he worked at the fucking Indian reservation. And so he had all these crazy fucking stories, and like it was always something. He's broken all these bones. He fucking rolled the car. Like, dude, I never met a motherfucker that rolled a car 15 times over the weekend and was like, You know what I mean? Straight on Monday. It wasn't a big deal. Oh, yeah, shit happens, you know? And then he picked me up in that Explorer. We went to the Buffalo Galleria Mall. And then we went actually to here where I live now and went into this restaurant, right? And he shaved his fucking head. He had his head shaved completely fucking down to the skin. And he was telling the waitress there that he was in the Marine Corps. And she started questioning him, so she must have known something. And he was so with the shits with lying that he fucking knew all the answers to all this shit. She was questioning him, and he's like, oh yeah, Paris Island, fucking, you know, my MOS is this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there like, I know this is all fucking bullshit. And I'm just like, you know, and this bitch is questioning. And it was for no reason. We were getting fucking lunch. I had a chicken quesadilla, I think. So, anyway, he was a fucking trip. I sometimes think about him. You know, one time, though, he said, oh, I got this guy. He's a Seneca dude. He fucking, you know, he works with me. He said he's got the best weed around. Da, 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 da. I was like, he's like, I'll bring you some. And I was like, all right, word. And I'm thinking like everything else is just bullshit. Yo, he comes with this fat chunk the next day. Fat fucking chunk. It was a tits. I was like, oh shit. He had it it took up it was a single, I mean, it wasn't a fucking quarter or anything like that. It was one big fat fucking bud. And it took up the whole bottom, the whole length of the width of a cigarette pack, you know, the cellophane. And it was probably 1.5 inches tall. It was like a fatty, you know, it was probably at the time like a fucking $30 or $40 bud. It was fucking fat. It was probably like 1/8 it broke out to. Maybe a little less. Anyway, it was fat. And I was like, oh shit. And then I started panicking because I wasn't ready. And he gave it to me and I'm like, fuck, I could smell this shit. I'm like, everyone's going to be able to smell this shit. And I don't know what the fuck made me think of this. I started thinking, how could I smoke some of this right here at school? I don't know why. And my brain started thinking, like, I wonder if I could make a tinfoil. Like, I don't know. I know in the kitchen they got matches. And I'm like, what are you, fucking stupid? You're about to be out of here in a couple hours. Like, just chill. So that was a fact. And then the other time with this dude, right? We were smoking blunts with somebody. And we were smoking Mad Dutches. So I was rolling all these, like literally, like they had a pack of 5 Dutches. This other person, and he was smoking like a motherfucker. He looked fucked up. Everyone was fucked up, right? And all of a sudden, I knew I was about to puke, and I was like, oh shit. So I was like, I'll be right back. I left. It was in my house, so I went downstairs. I fucking threw up, right? Oh shit, I threw up. I brushed my teeth real quick. I came back up, start smoking a blunt again. Like fucking 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I gotta throw up again. And I'm like, oh, I thought I heard something. I'll be right back. I gotta go check on something. So I go downstairs, I throw up again. Go back upstairs. Fucking come back. I come upstairs, I hit the blunt a couple more times. I'm about to puke again. I'm about to fucking throw up. I don't know what the fuck it was. My dude didn't fucking throw up. I fucking leave. I walk out of the room again. I start walking down the stairs, and I start to puke as I'm walking down the stairs. I put my fucking hand up in front of my mouth, and it just puked, and it sprayed all over the fucking hallway, all over the fucking, it just sprayed on the walls of the fucking going down the stairs. It was so bad. It was everywhere. So at that point, it was just, I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. It was puke everywhere. So I fucking grabbed a towel and I'm like trying to clean this shit up. I didn't want to seem like I was a lightweight, because all of a sudden I was a lightweight, dog. Oh, what a bad fucking thing. Well, I'm looking, it's fucking 40 minutes already. I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just felt like talking about some shit. I've been thinking about a lot of shit. So, yo, shout out to you if you're still here at fucking a little over 39 minutes. I fuck with you, man. And I love you guys as always. And well, I was gonna say free to go, free Stacks, but he's free. He got fucking no one goes to jail anymore. He just got booked, and he got out with no bail. And not no bail like they didn't offer him bail. Damn, I got a fucking sliver in my fucking hand. Like fucking, they didn't set a bail because no one fucking cares. So anyway, all right. That's it. That's all I got. I gotta go make some food. All right. I love you guys, man. Be good out in them streets. And that is it for now. Good day, sir.